Hey guys, welcome back to the Base Baptist. Today's video is a Christianity 101 video about using logic to prove God's existence. By the way, this is also simple logic, so a 5-year-old could do this. Before we begin, make sure to like and subscribe. We really need your help spreading the gospel, but anyway, let's get started. First off, let's begin with the simplicity of God. When you look at history, whether you believe in the Big Bang or not, there always is an origin. Say you believe in the Big Bang. What started that Big Bang? If it was if it was a big crunch, what made that big crunch? If that big crunch was the result of a Big Bang, then what started that Big Bang? Using this logic, using this kind of math, you can see that nothing created can be infinite. So that means the creator, the ultimate creator, has to be infinite himself. Some infinite natures of God would be all-loving, all-knowing, all-caring, all-powerful, and almighty. So knowing that this being is infinite, we can tell that he is God. That is what we define as God. Now let's talk about the complexity of the universe. Now, you might be wondering why I have a bunch of Maryland pictures on my screen. Well, I have a lot of reasons. 1, I'm a proud Marylander. 2, I like nature and animals and, like forests and stuff. And 3, it just proves God. How? Just look at the complexity of this one part. Maryland is the 9th smallest state. It's a really, really small state. This is just an ecosystem found in one state, found in one country, found in one region or one continent, found in one supercontinent, found on one planet, found in one solar system, found in one galaxy, found in the universe. You see how many levels to that there are? That just shows how complex it is. This is just one tiny part of that whole system, and it is already very, very complex. To give you another example, using the Maryland nature, take the trees. In Maryland, trees, they're pretty diverse. I mean, this is not a nature documentary video, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but there are so many different species of trees. You have spruces, you have spruces and cedars, spruces, cedars, oaks, maples. There's a lot of them to name. You have, from animals, you have ranging from elk, which are extinct in Maryland now, to bears or, wolves, to deer, to raccoons. There's a lot of animals that you can find in Maryland. And not to forget, Maryland is flat on the east, mountainous on the west, and somewhat of a plateau on the center. So Maryland is a perfect example of diversity, ecological diversity in the northern U.S. It's just the perfect example. Now let's get into God's involvement in the universe. Many atheists are just willing to say, I prayed to God, he never answered. Or, I asked God to do something for me, but he never got involved. Or, God could exist, but he hasn't gotten involved. And that's where deism comes from. So, how do we know God is always involved? Say evolution were true. It just shows more and more that God has a hand in everything, because God would be creating all those different species. He would be designing all those different species. Now, I'm not sure whether evolution happened or not, because I wasn't there in the beginning, and it doesn't impact my faith at all, but it still proves God. Take World War II. In World War II, men were giving up their lives to fight against the Nazis, who were clearly bad and had evil ideology. And guess who won? The Allies. The people fighting the Nazis, the people fighting the evil guys. It just proves that God is on our side if we believe. Because you also have to remember that there were all these nations fighting for the Allies, from Haiti to the US to Mexico to, let's see if I can name a random one, Cuba or Brazil or Panama. Panama. We're talking Panama here. All of these countries, you know what they share in common? Pretty much all of them are majority Christian. And not just that, they're also fighting for a good cause. It just makes more sense. Now let's get into morals. Speaking of morals, many atheists are gonna say there are things that are good or bad. As for example, they may say that the Nazis were bad, but they don't believe in a higher being. Or they may say that being homophobic is bad, but they're also atheists themselves. So they don't believe in a higher being that would be setting the morals. And without a higher being to set the morals of nature, there are no morals. There is no love. If you die, that's too bad. If you screwed up, too sad. If you're angry, you're just mad. There's nothing else you can do about it. If your loved one died, well, that's too bad. They just weren't fit for the world. They weren't fit for the ecosystem. And without morals, this is where the Nazis can get their roots. Or this is where hate begins to take roots. You have different people saying, well, we're the most fit for survival and nobody else is, so we're the best race. And that is where racism comes from. Boom, bada, ba, boom, bow. There. But for us Christians, God is love. He loves us all, and all we have to do to be in the kingdom of glory is just follow his rules and have faith. And if you don't follow them, it's hell for you, but it's not that hard to comprehend. Even I understood this at the age of 5. Now, there's many more things I could put in this video, but that's all for today. Make sure to like and subscribe, and happy Lent. The Lord bless you and keep you. Number 624.